Hi, all. Welcome to my channel. I just wanted to jump on today and say hi and see how everybody's doing. Sorry, I'm working on a project. Currently, I have an order for a hat that I'm making, and I need to get this out. She ordered a small, and unfortunately, I don't think people understand that a small is like a child small, or like for children. So I tried to contact her and she has not gotten back to me. So I don't know if you all have had issues like this before where a customer purchases something and they then don't respond to any inquiries that you give. I don't like making things unless I get basically a second clarification from people. The reason why is this hat I'm making is similar to the one that Elle Woods wears in A Legally Blonde. And I don't know if I could say that here, so I might bleep it out. But anyway, because it's a movie. And I designed this hat, and you can do it in any colors. She picked pink, but obviously in the movie it's like more of a purple. And I do get a lot of orders for the purple one as well. But I've made them for people who have been in plays, like doing the Elwoods play, or I've made them for people who are big fans of the movie and are going to a Broadway show, stuff like that. So, but anyway, what I was saying is when people order, I have two sizes. I have small, medium, which is a child's small, and then I have, or a child's hat, sorry. And then I have large size, which is an adult size. And it fits anyone with a head circumference of 20 to 23. The 23 obviously would be really tight, but, and I normally, if it's for an adult, I always say to go with that one. The child small is, or sorry, I keep saying that. The child size is, if an adult wears it, it would only come to like here, and it's very tight. So I hate to send this to her and find out that it doesn't fit. And then she's upset. So that's the problem I'm running into, but she's not answering me. And the order was placed 5 days ago at this point. So, and I'm not feeling the greatest today. As you know, I had poison ivy and still kind of do. I don't have the spots anymore, but my skin is hypersensitive and still very itchy. My mom gave me a really good trick, and it's to use baby powder on your skin so it stops itching. And let me tell you, it is a lifesaver. It does work. The only problem is obviously it's messy. And when I normally put on like the anti-itch cream, calamine, or whatever you're using, and then I wait for that to dry, and then I put powder over it just so that my skin doesn't itch. But I think I'm to the point where now my skin is like super dry because of all of the products I've been using on my skin. I have used the calamine, and I have used, Walmart sells like a anti-itch clear bottle of, it's like a gel, I guess. And I've been using that for when I go to work, because having pink blotches all over you when you go to a doctor's office to work is not the best looking thing. And I didn't want it all over my uniform either. So I've been doing that. And actually the daytime isn't too bad. But when I'm sleeping, it's absolutely horrible. I wake up in the middle of the night just super itchy, and my skin is just, I don't know, prickly, I guess. So I'm wondering, I have a back injury, and I'm wondering if, and I already have nerve pain from that. I'm just wondering if it's making it worse. I don't know. Anyway, so that's what I'm dealing with. But I'm trying to get this order done for this person. I think I'm just going to make it in the large and send it because I don't know if she's buying this for an adult or a child, but at least the large is safer. The small is really small, and not many people can fit in it. I made it for a friend of mine's daughter, and it fit her perfectly, and she's still wearing it 5 years later, and it does wash pretty well because I use a magic to start the hat. I use a magic ring, but I use the locking one. And if you're interested in learning that stitch, I can show you. But instead of going around your fingers once, you go around twice. And then there's two loops that you have to pull tight. You have to make sure that you're pulling the first one tight before you pull the outer one tight, if that makes sense. But it does hold, I don't know if you can see, but it does hold the magic ring really tight, and it's never going to come apart. So that's what's good about that. I do on the other side have a tail, and I normally will still weave it in even though the magic ring isn't going to come apart. I just do that to protect the hat. This yarn I'm using is fairly soft. I have never crocheted with it before. It's called, I love this yarn, and I think you find it at Hobby Lobby. My husband gifted it to me for Valentine's Day, and I actually really like it. It's super soft, and I don't make a lot of hats in cotton. Reason why is acrylic just seems to wear better and drape better for this particular hat. I try to find yarns that have a little bit of a give to them. Cotton is very structured and stiff, at least most of the cottons that I've used. And even though this pattern that I wrote doesn't call for it, it does call for worsted weight, and you can supplement with cotton. I would do 2 strands probably if I was going to do it that way. I just feel like it doesn't feel the nicest on your head. The softer acrylics feel better. So that's why I'm doing it this way. But anyway, so yeah, so I'm doing the large. And then after this, I have a ton of market prep to do. I have a couple markets coming up in October and December. And I probably am going to have a couple other ones as well. And I don't have that much stock, so I really got to make some stuff. I'm thinking of making things that are a little bit quicker to make. I don't want to do, and don't get me wrong, everybody has their own strategy, and I really like watching other crocheters prep for markets. It's something that like I put on in the background while I'm doing chores, or if I'm crocheting and I don't want to focus on like, a show or something, I'll throw market prep blogs on. And everybody has their own way of doing things. Like I said, I am not a big fan of making multiples of a bunch of things. So like if I'm going to make, say, a frog, I think the most I've ever made is 8. And I don't put them all out at a market. There are a couple reasons why, for me at least. Sorry about that. When I do a market, I want people to think that the one that they're getting is pretty much the only one. And they're more likely to buy it than they are if I have multiples of the same thing. And to me, that makes more sense. So if I have an item that I think is cute or popular or whatever, I do make a couple of them, but I will have them in my stock. I don't put them out. The most I'll put out is 2, and normally 2 or 3, sorry. And it's normally if there's a variation. So like if with leggy frogs, I made 3 different colors. And so that was fine. Putting out 3 of them because they had different colors, totally fine, because they each looked different, but the same. But I do have these like super cute ghost loveys that I absolutely adore. I think they're the cutest thing ever. And I made a bunch of those. And when I put them out in a pile or displayed them together, I didn't sell any. But when they were alone, I sold more because people thought that it was the only one available and that they had to get it then and there. I try to make things that aren't very big, but also aren't very small. A lot of the smaller things, and I get it, they go faster, they're easier to make, they use less yarn, yada, yada, yada. But the problem with that is it's like me being a conveyor belt. I don't like doing that. I won't say that I don't do it 100% of the time, but because with the leggy frogs, I really, really liked making them, and they worked up easy, and they were something that I could do fairly quickly. So I get the need for doing that, and I get why a lot of people do it. For me, it doesn't really work, but I understand. So what I'm trying to do for this market that I'm coming up, so it's a big indie market, and I want to do. And it's around Halloween time. So I want to kind of like lean into Halloween without doing too much Halloween, if that makes sense. So I want to do stuff that can be Halloween, but can also be kind of, I guess, alternative or little gothic. So that way it's not just for Halloween. So like, I don't want to do a whole bunch of pumpkins or jack-o'-lanterns, stuff like that. I want to do stuff that you can use as decor or during Halloween, but also like if you like that stuff, which we do, me and my husband absolutely love like dark and I mean, we don't dress goth, we don't do any of that, but Halloween is our favorite time of year. We love the feel and the nostalgia of Halloween, and we love the characters surrounding Halloween, like plague doctor and bats and ghosts and stuff like that. We love that stuff. Our house is not decorated like that, but we do lean towards that kind of art, that kind of scene, I guess. We really like it. It's just, it's not who we are as people. We don't like dress dark because it's not our thing. I would love to. I just don't think it's me. So anyway, but so I want to kind of do that. I found this really cute pattern, but I do believe it's AI, and that's pissing me off. For a plague doctor, he's really cute. I'm on Etsy nowadays. You can't find any, like really any. I don't trust any patterns on there. I thought I was good at knowing what was AI and what wasn't. But they're getting so good at masking the fact that it's AI that it's hard to tell now. Now, Ravelry, on the other hand, you can trust almost every pattern on there. And that used to be the case for Etsy. It makes me sad that that you can't trust that what you're buying is an actual pattern. And so a couple times I've run into AI patterns that I've purchased, and I read through the pattern. It doesn't make any sense. And I contact the seller and I ask them, like, what do you mean by this? And they can't answer the question. Or even before I buy, sometimes if I'm suspicious, I'll ask if they have any actual photos of products made with the pattern. And if they say no, then I know that it's an AI generated pattern and there's absolutely nothing, why buy it? It's not going to make any sense. So that's where I've run into a couple issues. I don't have time currently to design my own pattern for a plague doctor. Normally I would do that. But there's no harm and no foul using somebody else's pattern. You pay for the pattern, and anything you make from that you can sell. I always tell people, if they ask, or I'll put on the card like who the designer is of said pattern. But obviously I made it. So So that's what I do for markets most of the time. This one coming up is a big market. There's normally 60 to 100 vendors there, depending on how many people applied. It's at our, we have a dome, it's called, and it's at our dome in Henrietta, New York. And so it used to be at Village Gate, but the owner of Village Gate upped the price for things. So a lot of shows backed out of doing things there. I do like the dome better based on just the lighting situation and the space. I do like Village Gate better for like the overall ambiance, and because it's an indie market, Village Gate kind of falls into that niche, and I like the feel of being there. So it's, it's a different change. I've been doing this show on and off since it started, and I really, really love all the participants, and I love seeing all the art that everybody does. So I want to try to do different things this time, because normally I do a lot of, I don't want to say the same thing, but I do a lot of prep, and I end up with things like, I don't want to have things that everybody else has. So that's one thing that I don't do. I don't follow fads and stuff like that. I just make what I feel is fun. And that's what I kind of like about markets. That means I don't have an order that I have to get out. It means that I don't have someone telling me what to do. I can decide on the colors. I can decide on what I'm making. I can do all of that. So I do like that, that part of it. But it's so stressful to get ready for markets, because, right now it's August 4th, August 4th. And so basically I have all of August, September, and then half of October. So let's just say 2.5, 3 months. I have 3 months to make as much product as I possibly can. And then around that same time that my first market is, life tends to get a little busy, and with the holidays and everything. So I'm not going to have a whole lot of time to market prep for the December market. And currently, me and my husband have plans every single weekend until at least mid-September. So weekends are out as far as like getting things done and crocheting. This weekend we have my grandson, and we also have my niece's birthday party. She turns 5 today, actually. And then we have, next weekend we have another party. Luckily, that's for our neighbor, so we can just walk over there. So that's not a whole day event. So there will be some time to do some stuff next weekend. And probably Sunday this weekend too. Sunday, I don't know about all of you, but me and my husband kind of always make Sunday our like wind down day, where we try not to do anything too intense. We try to do things for just us. Meaning we get up, we have breakfast, we kind of have like a leisurely day. And the reason why is because the rest of the week is so hectic, and we're running around and working. I work 2 jobs, and I also crochet for a gallery and shows. So, and then this vlog, of course. And then I also write patterns and all of that stuff. So we have Monday through Saturday, we are very busy. We have a lot of stuff going on. My husband works long hours at Waste Management. So it's a wind down day for us, where we get to just hang out with each other, see each other. And even though we see each other every day, sometimes we're just so tired that we don't actually, spend quality time with each other. He's been very sick for the last week, or week and a half, I would say. Because we both had poison ivy and we were both on prednisone, we were, our immune systems were down, and my grandson came over and he slept over, and he woke up on Sunday pretty sick, and just like a sniffly nose and like, boogery and kind of whiny and whatever. Well, my husband didn't get sick right away, but a couple days later, he started getting a sore throat and then a sniffly nose and yada yada. Well, now he's hacking along, and it's progressing. So hopefully he's done soon. But like, he's coughing all the time, and which coughing turns into giving you a headache, and then he's just exhausted. So last night he came home. I was in the pool when he came home. I had immediately jumped in the pool when I got home from work. It was pretty warm out, and I just wanted to like have like 10 minutes to myself of like, winding down from work. And then he made dinner while I did some stuff. I had to fax some forms over to his work, and it's just busy life stuff that everybody has to deal with. But anyway, I don't have a lot of time to market prep. And so I'm trying to be efficient in what I'm making and what I'm picking. I don't want to pick projects that are going to take 2 weeks to make, even though, that's great and fine and all. I need stuff to kind of fill the spaces. I do have some bigger items that I can sell, so that's fine. I'm trying to think of things that are different that I can incorporate to the markets this year. I have a bunch of wearables, and then I sell amigurumis as well. All the purses that I made, I took to the gallery that I sell at, and I haven't heard from them in regards to if any of them have sold or if they've displayed any of them. I'm not sure. But normally I get a readout every month and a check that they mail to us, all the artists there. And if you have sold an item, they give you a print, like a spreadsheet of what sold, and then they give you a check for that. Excuse me. And I haven't seen any purses on there. So sometimes, like, if I give them stuff, they wait to put it out. So that might be the case. There's also the Clothesline Festival is coming up for the Memorial Art Gallery. That's in September. And normally I like to try to drop off stuff for that as well. So I have to market prep for that too. So if you know any patterns that are fairly easy to work up, that are different, that people aren't doing to nauseum, meaning I don't want a pattern that everybody's doing and that's mainstream. I prefer cute, simple other things. If you know of anything that's cute and works up fast, if you could drop me a link below. I've been looking and Googling things and trying to figure out what I want to do. I really don't have too much of an idea right now. I'm trying to figure that out. So anyway, I'm going to finish this hat. I have until, I gave myself till noon. It's 10:30. That should be plenty of time. Cause I'm almost, this doesn't look like much, but I'm almost there. So I wanted to share some market prep ideas with you, and you can vote on them and see what, I would like to see what you think, and we can go from there. Just wanted to jump back on real quick and show you the end result of the hat that I made. So I finished the hat. Here's the hat. It has a little white stripe right here. And then I just finished making the flower that goes on it. The flower is made up of chain stitches and loops. And basically what I do is I go around twice to make the flower. So this is going to go on the hat like that. And then this is going to get shipped to the customer. She wanted pinks instead of purples. So I hope she loves this. And I just wanted to give you an update that I finished it. I didn't finish it in time. I went half an hour over So it just, a lot of things happened. I had to do some work and stuff. So got sidetracked a little bit, but I hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care and be kind to yourself.